Welcome, if you're watching. Just want to start by saying I am no pro YouTuber. I'm not even a good speaker. I just want to chronicle my creation of this level for a couple reasons. First, I'd like to try and get it featured in the community hub for Doom. Secondly, my daughter has expressed interest in game design and level and world creation in particular, so I thought I'd kind of record this and chronicle it as I go, so she can watch it, maybe get some ideas. I'm basically gonna, go over the core principles and stuff that I'm using. Stuff that might seem kind of basic to me, but I've been doing this for a long time. So if you're not new to level design, this is probably going to be pretty boring to you. But yeah, that's that. Speaking of which, like I said, this is for Doom. I'm going to make it a team deathmatch level. Later on I'm going to adapt it so it can be used for a couple other game types like Capture the Flag and a game type called Warpath. But for now, I wanted to start with something simple. Even though it is very simple, you can eke a lot of depth out of simple things like this. If you look closely, the different rooms have pathways and stuff like that. It's a simple core room with a ring of rooms and hallways encircling it, and that's basically it. But as we get into it, you'll see there's a lot more to it than just that. I'm gonna call it Common Core for obvious reasons. Took me 10 seconds to think that up. If I think of something better, I might change it, but that's what it is for now. I would have liked having side exits here on the room to make it, a simple cross with a circle around it, but unfortunately the pieces don't give me that option yet. Let me show you here. This is the room that I wanted to use. Very old school shooterish, lots of platforms and stairs and multi-level. It's really cool. So this is actually what inspired me to make the level. I just wanted to work this into something somehow, so that's how I ended up here. So I started with that and just kind of started working around. Like I said, I wanted something simple and easy. Which brings me to my next subject, which would be lighting. That's going to be the main focus of the video. As I was building the hallways and stuff, they were all this color of this room. I'm in a simple drab gray, monotone, and I found that even though I was adding stuff like crates and boxes and things to mix up the environment, it was still looking the same. It was hard to tell one room from another, or at least describe one room from another. So to aid in that, I came up with the idea of doing a red and a blue half of the map. You're either in the red hallway or you're in the blue hallway. So when you're in the middle of a match, you can just more easily communicate your position to your team. Red, unfortunately, didn't work out too well because these lights built into the map, you can't really change the color of these yet. So putting red in the environment looked really cool, but it looked unnatural. So I went with red and orange, and I'll kind of touch on that more later on. But I think the best way to show this is going to be to jump into the game, so I'm going to do that really quick. Doesn't take very long to load. Alright, so this is that room I was just showing you a minute ago. Looks really cool. And your character, this room is actually more dynamic than it looks. I mean, I'm not stuck to these walkways and confined here. I have a double jump, so I can do cool stuff like that, or I don't know, come down here, all kinds of neat stuff. And you can also kill yourself. But you know, the lighting, I darkened the lighting quite a bit from what the level comes as, and it creates a lot of these like ambush points. Like, you know, someone from across the room is gonna have a hard time seeing me here, and it'll be a lot better with, you know, crates and whatnot. But back to the lighting issue. So I made a blue and an orange side, and I tried to make it so if you're looking into a room, you can kind of tell what color it is from the outside, or even, you know, once you're in the room, you can kind of just quickly glance around and tell what room you're in, or, you know, what half of the map anyway. The blue looks a lot more natural, so it's almost hard to tell that I even changed the coloring of this room. But that cool blueness to the room is the custom colors that I added, and you'll see a little more as we go along. Another thing to note is the blue coloration I tried to keep near the ceilings and like coming downwards. You'll see that in contrast to the orange half when we get into it, where I kept it towards the floor coming upwards to try and kind of offset the two even more. You can see the blue there, and it kind of radiates into the room a little. You'll mostly see it like tinging things. You know, it's just a hue. I guess without seeing the original version, it's a little harder to tell, but you know, this room in particular looks pretty cold and icy almost. Again, it's, you know, coming down from the top. It makes this whole half of the map seem blue. Since they don't really let you color the walls or put decals or anything like that, I kind of had to make do with what I had. I think this room in particular turned out pretty good with the coloration. And then right here we're on the exact opposite half of the map. That's our start point back over there. And then this is the orange half getting into it. It feels a lot warmer, I think, with these colors. And you know, these lamps, again, you can't change these colors, so I had to try and find an orange that kind of looked natural. If you don't look at it too hard, you know, and you're just running around shooting and killing people, I don't think it looks too bad. Again, you'll see a lot of the orange, you know, it's more towards the floor and the waist level, like on these handrails. Where there are natural red and orange lights, I tried to, you know, amplify that, make it look a little more natural. I think this little coupler here turned out pretty good. I like this room here too. These yellow lights at the top of the room provided a good base for the orange lighting up at the top. It fits good with all the smoke and stuff I put in here. I think this room will have some good fights in it. I need to add a little bit more battle objects, maybe some more smoke. I'm not quite sure, but this room's going to turn out pretty good, I think. But that's it for the most part. You know, just showing the difference lighting can make in two different areas. The circuit I just ran all looked exactly the same until I added the orange and the blues, but I think you can see a major difference once I did that. I think it'll be pretty cool in particular during capture the flag matches. Another quick thing about lighting, this room is pretty dark to start with, you know, and I brightened up some areas here and there so you can see better. I'm still working on that, but one point in particular, I added some spotlights here. They're not physical objects you can see, but they you know, lit up the door here. I'm going to do the same to this side of the door as well, so when people are running laps around, you know, it'll stand out more in their peripheral vision and they'll know it's in there. Same with that door over there. And then one more note on flow for the newer type of people. This is a pretty basic concept of, you know, most map building and stuff, but the central portion here, you know, you want to draw players, like I said, together, like I was talking about earlier. You want to draw them together. So what you do is you put the good stuff, the stuff people want here. Like in this game, I'm going to end up putting like the demon power-ups and the good weapons and stuff like that in here, so that people have a motivation to meet in the middle. And in capture the flag matches, you know, the main hubs will be opposed to each other, like one here and one here, the main base points. And when you capture the flag, cutting through the middle will be much faster than going around, but going around will be safer. You know, I think capture the flag will probably be the most fun on this map. But Warpath is also fun. It's a game type where there's a trail displayed throughout the map and it doesn't change, and there's a point that you have to capture and hold, and that constantly moves throughout the trail, and the teams battle back and forth for it. I think that'll be really fun in here, especially snaking it along through these catwalks and stuff like that. So that's it for now. You know, these things aren't going to be very long, just covering basics. Like I said, flow and level setup, you know, was the main topic of this one, and the lighting. So yep, talk to you later.